Welcome back to season 3 of All Round Mine. And it's so incredible to be in the set together physically. It's nice,
I know, but people can see us now, so I've got to put the makeup on, we've got to get dressed up, no more PJs, because you can watch us as well as listen to us in your ears. I'm Arielle Free.
And I'm George Lawton.
I'm very excited about today's guest, George.
Me too, very excited.
She is a woman who shares a lot. I actually don't know a lot about her home.
No, she doesn't post much about her home, does she? No.
I'm intrigued. She is 1/3 of the world celebrated Receipts podcast. She is also the agony aunt du jour, writer, presenter, and beauty expert. She's a master at all of them as well.
It's the one and only Tolly T. Ow!
Let's go round Tolly T's house.
So I'm going to start off by showing my living room. One of my favourite spaces in the house. Yes, I have a picture of myself in my living room and I feel no shame about that. These are plants that have made it, that are still alive. My favourite thing, one of my favourite things in here is I have this basket, which looks like it houses like blankets and stuff, but it's my little games basket. There's loads of games in here. So this is Ludo, straight from Nigeria, and there's other games in there, but then we cover it up to make it look classy. So there's that. There was this space in my spare bathroom. So I'm a beauty writer, well, was a beauty writer, and I'm still obsessed with all things beauty and makeup. And I have an irrational fear of running out of beauty products. So I've got a little basket for just like extra stuff. And I know it might seem excessive, but it's just who I am, and I have no shame about it. So this is one of my favourite spaces in my home. I'm going to start with the accolades wall, I like to call it. It's got a mirror. Every room in the house has a mirror. So I'm just going to go through a few bits. So that is when the Receipts podcast got 100 episodes. This picture is one of my favourite pictures, which is from my 30th birthday party. That's me in the black dress, and it's just my friends like encouraging me and taking pictures. And honestly, I look at it sometimes just for encouragement alone. And there is this award, which is an award I got for my work in journalism, the Gold Award, which is nice. There is this, which is my logo, which looks beautiful, right? So I can't come and die. And basically that is a sign whenever I'm getting stressed out and things just feel like too much. So you know what? You can't come and die. It's not that deep. Relax, sis. This is from an exhibition, well, an article that I wrote that became an exhibition, which is just interviewing Black British musicians, pictures from the 1010 podcast that I do with Gina Moore and the Receipts podcast. So I have a telly in this room, mainly because I cannot work without television. That's my truth. I just like noise in the background. My other truth is, and I want no judgment whatsoever, is that this is probably like my 7th plant in here because they all die. And I think this might be on its way out. I'm not a great plant mum, but so... Not everyone has the gift. There is this sofa, which just kind of feels like the main feature in the house. It's just, I like a nap. So I feel like if I have an afternoon nap on the sofa, it doesn't feel too relaxing. And it also becomes a sofa bed. So this houses guests, basically. I have these posters on the wall. So this is Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On, which I absolutely love. I think it looks amazing. And then there's this, which is Destiny's Child Independent Woman. It's actually a rework. So there's a film called How to Marry a Millionaire. And basically it's kind of like reworked into Destiny's Child Independent Woman. And I feel like this is like my brand. I want to be an independent woman, but I also want to marry a millionaire. So that just made sense for me. And this is Lauryn Hill's poster. And this is the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which is one of my favourite albums. More stuff. So that's like the desk area. Of course, I've got a little podcasting area set up. And also my favourite part of the house, if you look out of the window, this is nicer when it's a nicer day, you can see the water, which is very beautiful.
Welcome, Tolly T. All right,
Hello.
Thank you for that home tour.
Do you like it?
Yeah, loved it.
Amazing. On your podcast,
Yes.
you're always talking about bits of advice. You're telling people how to leave their life in some way. So is your home a bit of a sort of mini therapy clinic for your friends and your family?
Absolutely.
Is
No,
it?
I get it. Like, I get it loads, right? But do you know, like most people, right, it should be like, do you want tea? I do love a tea, right? Nothing against tea. I think tea is great and very comforting. But
I wonder where you're going.
Yeah, no idea.
I know,
No
right?
idea.
I have a lot of like drinks that are not tea.
Yeah.
That I like to offer my guests.
Yeah.
You got a drinks trolley?
No, I don't. I
Oh.
should, but I do have like a cupboard that's just dedicated to it,
That's good
right?
enough.
And I like
Have
to
a
feel like, I
wine.
think it's really like fancy to be like, oh, do you want to come to it? Like, just like a random, like just something random that no one really has in their
Can you
house.
do cocktails?
Yes, I can.
Can you?
I've got cocktail makers.
Go to?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I make a great margarita. Because it's really, I mean, if you can't make a great margarita, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you should own a home.
I like this. So you got your cocktail making, your advice giving, and then you have your secret game board.
Yes.
I do.
What
I
a night.
love that basket. It's so much fun. There was more games underneath. There's like
Go on,
loads
what's
and
in
loads
there?
of games. No, I've got to articulate. That's
Ooh.
that game.
People
good.
can fall out over that big time.
Because then it makes it, I was like, are my friends idiots? How do you not get what I'm trying to tell you? It's how I get so angry with everyone. We played it at Christmas. In January, I didn't speak to my mum, like for the rest, because I was just like, why didn't you get what I was trying to say? Like, what is wrong?
Like, yeah, why did the where's the
like, why didn't
I
anything
actually want to
click?
backtrack though to the Ludo.
Right, okay.
I don't know how to play
What is
Ludo.
this going on? Because there's football players, but you were saying it's a tradition.
Sorry, you don't know how to play Ludo?
No. Have you played Ludo before?
I feel like I had, but I didn't involve football players, so I'm really confused.
It looked very complex.
Okay, so
from the
Ludo
box.
is a huge game in my family, and like everyone plays it. And also we have no mercy. So my niece, who is 6, I will beat her every time, right? And she cries every time, and I don't care. Like that's how I see it, and that's how I was brought up. You get better.
No,
okay?
that is like that is the
Right?
best training. Because my niece is the same, and she's now 13.
Yeah.
and she's had that her whole life for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
And my brother, her dad.
And it makes you ready for the big world.
Yeah, exactly.
Be good at things then.
We don't.
Do you have a lot of friends, Tolly? just wondering.
Just only ones I'm better than. No, I'm joking.
Only ones that are exceptional at Ludo.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I was just about to ask you who you would have round for dinner, but I don't know if anyone wants to come. No,
I have friends, right?
we know no footballers. We know no
just
footballers.
competitive.
If you could have, who would be your top 3 celebrities that you would love to have round for dinner and just grill or play against in games?
I would have Issa Rae, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Ross's
Yes.
daughter, who is
Who I love.
brilliant and dresses
Unbelievably.
amazingly.
Better
Great.
than Diana. Sorry.
I think so too. Yeah.
You don't want someone showing you up at your party, though, do you?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
just
think I'd mind.
Do you not?
I like people that have a good time, right? So these two, I think, will be a really good
Yeah.
time, right?
Right.
And then we'll just have Drake there as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? Wouldn't that be so much fun?
We do know about your obsession with Drake.
No.
We're not going to speak about him yet. 'cause we're gonna get to
I'm
that.
desperate.
I
We
do
are.
love him.
So that's actually as the guests go. But then what would you have each of them do? Like what cocktail? Would you make them all a margarita, obviously?
Do you know what I'd love to do with them, right? I've got this, okay, I've got it all set
You
out in my
thought
head.
about this?
I think about things, right? I like live in a world like
Usually there's a lot of thought that goes into this. Oh, I don't know. Like we get
No,
something
no,
to
no,
do,
no.
but
I
this
know
was just
exactly what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll have a cocktail and presentation night. And what it is
Presentation?
so everyone has to make a full PowerPoint presentation and a cocktail, right? It could be about any
no.
topic ever you could ever want, right? It could be about like, you know, why dating is awful or why I love ketchup. It could be about anything,
Okay.
but you give me a presentation and you have a cocktail to go alongside it and then you present that to me. So I would have Drake presenting his presentation to me. I don't know what OVO really stands for or, you know, why Toronto is the best, whatever he wants to do. Tracy can do something about why wearing sequins on a weekday is good.
Yeah.
great.
Love that. You've really thought about this.
I've really thought about it. Can you tell?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And Issa can just be like how to be awkwardly funny.
Great.
And then everybody presents.
But then what are you presenting?
That's a good question.
Why dating is a hell.
We did see from your kitchen, well, it's not kitchen, sorry, bathroom cabinets, the exceptionally organised beauty products, but also the contingency for if you run out of something, there is a plethora of like how far does this go? Like, say you have your daily moisturiser.
Yeah.
How many backup daily moisturisers do you have?
Oh, a lot.
Just in case.
Oh, I do have a lot. Do you know the worst is, which I didn't show because I was like, no, this is excessive and embarrassing, shower gel.
Oh.
So I will buy a shower gel every time I do a food shop.
Because it's like get the one that's on offer.
No, just in case it runs out.
I quite like that though, because there's nothing worse than running out of shower gel.
Exactly.
Okay, but it doesn't sound like you're close to running out
And it's
anytime
just
soon.
me. No one else uses it. Like, it's not necessary.
Do you have them all lined up? Do you like pick your scent in the morning?
It's in like, they're the exact same shower gel. I don't even deviate. It's the exact same one every single time. Yeah,
How
yeah,
many- how many do you have?
I can't, no.
No, go on, how
No,
many?
it's so many. Okay, so imagine I've been there quite a while now.
Yeah.
And I do a food shop regularly. 'cause
Pretty
I have
much
to
once a
eat.
week.
Yeah. That's a lot. Are they all? They're all at least full though. You've not like sort of just
Is it in
taken a
double
little
digits?
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Also, because like, I used to live, like I lived with my mum and my siblings, I'm always used to like buy loads of things for everyone else in the house. So I still shop like I live with them.
Yeah.
So like I'll do a food shop. I was like, no, only you have to eat this. You don't need to get 6 chickens. You can just get the 2. And so it's like things like that. I think I'm just used to buying for a bigger family. Yeah, that's what it is.
Now we saw your like many beauty products, but I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the one product you couldn't live without, or the one beauty hack that you couldn't live without?
Blotting paper.
Oh,
I am an oily, sweaty little girl. Right? And it's just like, honestly, I'm probably like greasing up now. And like for the longest time, I don't know what to do about it. And I used to realize, but blotting paper works magical. It's just like a bit of paper, it's like dab it on your face.
Oh, wow.
And like I have this like disgusting thing where I quite enjoy, you look at it, you just see oil, extra oil.
I do love that.
Yeah, I quite like things like that.
Yeah. Have you ever done these like face masks that like set and then you peel them off?
I really like to see the things that come out of my body.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, yeah.
So I'm like, have a look. I love having a look.
It is like when you pop a spot or something, you're just like, what's going on there then?
Oh God, that was inside me.
Well, I want to come back to your lovely flat.
Yes.
This is a little bit about going round you. You had some amazing artwork on the wall. The Destiny Child poster, Lauryn Hill. I love that. So is that 3 of your favourite albums?
Yeah, 3 of, because I it's really hard for me to ever say, people was like, what's your favourite song? I can't tell you.
I can't do that.
So much.
Yeah.
But I do really love those individual artists and their albums as well.
And also, I noticed throughout their whole flat, you have a lot of artwork and pictures and posters. Like you fill, don't you, with like...
Yeah, because I'm really... So and probably another thing I didn't take from my mum. My mum was really funny about having pictures of us downstairs in the house.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I think it's just because like, people coming in and out of your house and it was more like of an intimate like thing. She kept all of our pictures upstairs in her room. So I was just like, when I get somewhere, I just want pictures and artwork everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's even a bit in my kitchen, which is just like a Polaroid wall where everyone that comes to my house, I take a Polaroid and I just stick it up there. I love that. I just think it's really cute. And so that was really big for me to be like, I want pictures everywhere. And like, because it wasn't something I was allowed to do when I was at my mum's. So that was like a big thing for me. And I still want more. Like when I go to people's like homes, do you know people like that are really into art? Like kind of like, you can't even figure out what it is. Yeah. I feel like I should be that person, but I'm not. Are you good at DIY?
No, rubbish.
So bad. So that wall I was showing you with all the pictures, if you look close now, there's like a hole in it every bit. Because, do you know the shelves? I tried to do it myself, right? There's a random bit, I clocked it in the video, where there's a bit of sellotape, where someone said put a sellotape and put across it and then drill that. I've like... That room as well, there's no curtains in it because I tried to put the curtains up and it fell. Because the thing is, I know I can't, but why should that stop me from trying?
It's the accomplishment, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, do you know when you buy like a shelf and you're like, I'm going to put this up?
Yeah,
and then you give yourself a
time.
leak in the house or like an electrical fault.
I cry. Every time I try to put something up, I've cried.
But when it is up, you feel so great. And every time you look at it as well, you've got a sense of pride.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about achievements that you do have.
Okay.
DIY might not be one of them.
Not any of them, no.
But talk to us about Top Boy. Because it was a bit of a surprise because you were involved in narrating the first episode that went on to Netflix, which is the one obviously Drake was involved in, who we know you're a huge fan of. How did that come around?
So Top Boy was on Channel 4 for like years, and then it just kind of went away and nobody knew what was going to happen to it, if it was going to come back or whatever. And then like Drake watched it one day. And I thought, yeah, in it. And I don't know if it went like that. I'm making that story up in my head. And then he, like, I think got in touch with whoever he got in touch with, and exec produced it. So it was coming back, and after years of not being around, it was kind of like people needed to remember what this was, right? And then, like, I think not too long, Drake was doing a concert in London at the O2, and they were like, we're going to premiere the video at a Drake concert. And I was like, sorry, what?
Were you there?
So yeah. So right, exactly. So like, again, so I'm at this concert now. They told me this might happen, right? So I'm just there. Like, I'm there with the receipts girls, actually. Like, I hadn't said anything to anyone about it happening because I thought if it doesn't, I don't want to be disappointed. Yeah. And also, like, you know how concerts go. They might be late. And he was meant to be on at 9. I think at this point it had gone past 9. I was like, oh, it's not going to happen because like, it's running late. And then I was just like, I think I was on my phone. And because I'd like worked on it, I knew exactly how it started. And it starts with like crackling of fire. You can hear crackling of fire. And I heard the crackling of fire and looked up, and I literally was screaming.
This is literally giving me goosebumps.
No, genuinely. I was like, oh my God, I wrote that like screaming, people looking at me like, who are you meant to be? I don't care. This is the best time ever. And it was just so nice to see this thing I've been working on for months and months and months, and like words that I wrote, and like, because we all filmed with the cast and they're all amazing. Like Michael Ward at the time, Dave was on it as well, Little Sims, Ashley Waters, Kano, all of them. So it was like, and then seeing that, and the reveal was just sick. And then people like seeing like when Dave revealed his mask, and everyone's like, oh my God, is that going to be in the show? So none of it is actually in the show. It was actually original. Just
amazing.
Yeah, for that. So it was, that was a moment. That was amazing.
Is that the proudest you think you've ever felt of something that you've created?
Definitely one of, absolutely. And just to get to see it as well. And I've seen everyone's reaction to it.
In that environment as well.
Exactly. Because there been loads of rumours that it was coming back, but nobody had seen anything or knew who was going to be in it. So to hear everyone see that for the first time as well was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, because it's all well and good having, thousands of people listening to your podcast, but you don't get to see any of the reaction.
Exactly.
You don't get to see how it affects you.
Exactly.
So to be able to see all those people around you and the emotional reaction that
what are the receipts girls like? Because if you didn't tell them,
got their phones out and started filming it. And they were like, she's going to want this on film. Yeah. And they just started filming it and screaming. So there was a video of me just like excessively screaming, that's me. Yeah. I'm not even in it. I'm just like, that's me.
Have you met Drake? Yeah.
I have met Drake.
You're basically best friends now, right?
Oh my God, he loves me. And I met him at Top My After Party, actually.
Wow.
I love this story, right? So I was like, everybody knows I love him. So gone to the premiere and he was there and everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to be her moment. She's going to meet him, right? But I was like, I'm not going to take a picture of him because I just want him to think I'm cool. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want him to respect me enough to want to work with me. Yeah. And occasionally party. So we're like at the after party, whatever. And then he knows my friend. So says hi to my friend. And then she's like, oh, introduce me to him. And I go to like, shake his hand and I give him like a double kiss. and he goes, oh, you fancy? I was like, yeah, I am. I love it. And then what's even more great about he fumbled the kiss, right? And I'm such a Drake fan. There is a lyric in his song where he talks about going to Fashion Week and fumbling kisses. Brilliant. And I was like, man to his word. Because he like fumbled it.
Sounds like you absolutely smashed it.
I was going to ask, is the horrible situation of someone you don't know whether you go in for one kiss,
it was Drake. I was just like,
mwah. Give it a 10. Do you shake the hand? Because I always go for a kiss and a hug, and then it's always really fun. Yeah. But I love that. That's such a. Did it feel like a full circle moment for you?
It was really nice. Yeah. It was just really nice because I've been like a fan of his for absolutely ages. So it was just like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But no Drake artwork on your wall.
No, there isn't any Drake artwork on my wall.
Ooh, need to change that. He wouldn't be happy.
Call yourself a fangirl.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? I just wanted loads of women. I think every bit of artwork I have are women.
There's a lot of
strong
women.
That's a big thing for me. Just like being centered around women. Yeah. That's when I feel the most loved.
You have your accolade wall.
Yeah.
Break it down for us because you've got lots of achievements on that wall, but also I love the photo from your 30th birthday.
Don't you love it? I love that picture
such a gorgeous
so
moment.
much. And it wasn't like, I remember seeing it in the list of pictures and I was like, I slept at my mum's at the time and I was like, oh my God, when I get a place somewhere, I'm going to put this up. It was just such a nice moment. I'm not even it's just like the back of me really, but it's just everyone that's important to you. Like cheering me on.
Rallying.
Yeah. And I think every time I look at it, I spot another face. I didn't see that. So I just really like that picture basically.
You got the Gold Award.
Yes.
What was that for?
So it was for my work in journalism. So it was an MPH award who do just like awards in that world sort of thing. And they have different, I had no idea I was going to win it, to be fair. I just went there, I was just like, yeah, I'll be free wine. I'll go with my sister. So I knew I'd got nominated, but they don't tell you who won, right? So then it was like this thing. And it was actually really lovely because I'd just left my job at BuzzFeed at the time. And I saw like my old employees come out on a video just being like talking. I was like, they're talking about me. And it was just really nice. And you get awarded this award after. So it was just for like my work in like beauty writing, which is nice. It's like growing up, that's all I really wanted to be, like a writer. And I wanted to write about like beauty and makeup and things like that. So for it to then feel like something I can win an award for and be like credited, and it was nice.
And you also had the music journalist, like, is that like a kind of collage? Or was that all the artists you said you shouted out in that article?
So I did. I wrote this piece, just like talking to, I interviewed every single one of them, like over a week. And then, so I wrote the piece about it with each of their individual like interviews. And then it got made into an exhibition at Box Park.
Oh, wow.
So all those pictures are printed out massive all over Box Park and Shoreditch. And I'm just like really, really proud of it. And there's a bit of a sad tone to it because I interviewed Cadet in it as well. Yeah. And he's now passed away, rest in peace. And it's just really nice to know that like I got his words before he's not around anymore. And so that like it just means a lot to me. And I remember all of those conversations. I remember sitting there with Wretch being like, will you perform this song at my wedding? He probably has no idea that I made him promise that. I was like, yeah, sure.
You're going to hold him to it though?
Yeah, every time I see him. I was like, do you remember when you said you're going to perform? I don't think he realised it's the same person though. Because then we've had him on the podcast and I don't think he knows that I'm the same person that made him promise to perform at my wedding. So he better do it.
I'm sure he
right?
will.
He'll do it.
You've always been inspired by women. You feel like when you're in your presence, you have a lot of like amazing, strong women across your walls. Who inspired you growing up?
Oh, I have. So my mum's amazing, of course, like not to be cliche, but like I have like a great group of aunties, including my mum in that group as well. And they're generally the best girl gang people ever. And each one of them have their own individual roles, right? They play it very, very well. There's the auntie who is convinced, me and her are age mates, right? She's just so convinced that she's still so young and she's still so cool and all of that. And like, sure, right? She's not, but sure. But like we let her have it, right? We'll still invite her out and things like that. There's the aunties that are very like mum. Like, I think my mum is like the super auntie out of all of them, and it's really weird because my mum is titled Big Mummy, and Big Mummy is like a woman who is older than everyone else's mum. But she's not old enough to be a grandma.
Right.
So my cousins will call my mum Big Mummy because she's not old enough to be their grandma.
Nice.
Like the umbrella.
Most wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of vibe. And you have the one who is like, you know, has a bit of money and just kind of genuinely thinks she's better than everyone. But she'll still show up to things, but she'll just be like, I'm better than this. But like she comes every time.
Love it.
So yeah, I have like a bunch of aunties who have made such like a good impact in my life. And I always like look to them. And my household is so like, it's so matriarchal. Like I think my nephew, apart from like people's partners and stuff, was one of like the first boys born into my family. Yeah, and we had like one boy cousin. So loads of my family are just like loads and loads of women.
Yeah. Love it.
Everywhere.
And when it comes time for you to finally sort of become an auntie to somebody else, what's your part going to be? What role are you going to play?
Oh, that is a good question.
That is a good question.
Oh, what auntie will I want to be?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I kind of want to be like the auntie that they call. They'll be like, auntie, I think can you pick me up?
Yeah.
Like I'm the auntie, like niece, do whatever you want. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go lie down. Like when my nieces and nephew come round, they love it because they know it's like a takeaway every night.
Great.
Like it's just like a good time. Yeah. I just kind of want to be like a good time auntie, but also kind of like, can I tell you about this thing that's going on?
I love that.
And it started already. Like my cousins come to me for advice. They're like, are you home? And I'll just like come round and sit down and just give them advice. It's really cute.
Play some Ludo.
Yeah.
Play some Ludo.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Like feel a bit better.
It does get to the point though when like the nieces get a bit old and they're like, oh, can you get me guest list for that concert?
No, it's happening. I took my nephew to go see Storms the other day. Yeah, and honestly, the whole time I was just looking at him. Like, because I was just like watching him watch it and he got so excited. And when Ed Sheeran came on, I thought he was going to burst because he was like, like, he was just so happy. And then I got to take him backstage to meet them as well and take pictures. So he was just like really, really, he thinks I am the best auntie.
You are the coolest auntie around.
And I think that's one of the reasons that so many people, you know, have this idea of wanting to have children because you basically get to relive those moments of your life.
It's so nice. Yeah. It was the first time at the O2. He was like, it's big. And me, I was like, well, it used to be called the Millennium Dome.
You used to have a whole science museum here.
It was a science museum. He was like, okay, I don't care.
Didn't ask for a history lesson.
I just want to see Drake. I just want to see Stormzy.
So Tolly, you've done so much. I mean, you could probably retire now, but I'm sure you've got other things in the pipeline. Is there anything fun coming up?
Do you know what? I feel like I won't ever be fully satisfied or feel like I can be retired until I have my own TV show written and created by me on television, right? Like, so I've been like working on one for absolutely ages, and the whole premise of it is, so I reckon when you're about 27, it's a really weird age, right? Things just kind of start feeling really weird. I feel like people are like getting pregnant.
That's my favourite age.
It's really
and also,
weird.
if anyone asks me, that's the age I am now.
Right, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think 27 for a lot of
27
people.
for the rest of my life.
Right, okay. 27 is a really interesting age for people, right? Because it's just that, I mean, you've got the whole, like, you know, people that die at 27 is the whole rock star thing. And I just think that's quite morbid. But also, it's just like, it's just this thing where you feel like you should be doing more, but you're a bit quite childish. You should be doing better. And like people around you are getting pregnant on purpose.
I've still got all this to look forward to.
I remember like being 27 and a friend saying to me, like, she's pregnant. I was like, what are you going to do? She was like, no. I was like, you can tell your mum. She's like, I'm allowed to be pregnant. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Like, but I was just so used. Like, I was so used to us being younger that I was like, that feels really, like, you're a child.
Why have you chosen to have that responsibility?
It's that brilliant scene when there was like, married at 27, am I a child bride? Like, why would that happen? Sort of thing. But yeah, it's just about like this like coming of age era. I'm really, really big on what life looks like being in London, right? And having that kind of like sexy TV show that's about a woman in London living her life. And it's like, it's a black woman, but that's not the center of it, right? And I think so many TV shows have a thing with black characters and they make it their whole life. Here was this black person doing this. This is a TV show that's going to be with characters who happen to be black. And their experiences don't have to be over-explained. So I always say, I remember growing up watching telly and seeing like white women wash their hair every day. I was like, every day? You wash your hair every time you go in the shower, you wash your hair. I haven't washed my hair in like 3 weeks, and that's not. I genuinely just couldn't get my head around it. I'm like, why is she washing her hair again? Yeah. She just did it in the last scene, and it was never explained to me, right? Yeah. And I want that to be a lot of things that black women do all the time, and it doesn't have to be and here's her doing this because it means this.
Yeah.
And here's his hairstyle because it means this. I just want them to be able to live.
Be commonplace.
And just be like a normal thing. So yeah, it's this coming of age person who is 27 kind of like, what am I doing with my life? It's about her journey through sexuality, sex, life, and all of that.
Could it be deemed the new London version of Sex and the City?
It was in the pitch somewhere. Sex and the City was mentioned somewhere. Of course it was mentioned somewhere.
If you'd asked me what TV show Tolly T was going to make, I'd say it'd be a sexy sitcom. Sexy sitcom revolved around women because it's like you say, there's such a huge impact. They've always been in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it doesn't. I feel like you would absolutely smash that.
Yeah, it was definitely in the pitch deck. Yeah. And I got to wondering. I haven't used that line, I promise.
So is it fully written? Is it good to go?
I'm really bad with deadlines, and I owe someone somewhere something. Someone was like, yeah, it's going really well, it's all done. I'm just going to email it over now. But yeah, it's going a really long way, and it's like, do you know what? Working in TV and writing scripts is so long.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, I don't think I realised how much of a process it is.
There's so many people that want their say and got a comment.
It's such a process. So I hope it happens. I pray it happens.
I do too.
Yeah. And
I'd love to see that.
I genuinely, I'm going to make it, do you know what? It's going to happen because I'm going to make it my lifestyle for it to happen. So it'll be fun. You'll see it.
So in a dream world, an ideal scenario, who are you casting in your show?
Oh, that's such
Who's
a good
playing
question. It's so funny because I was making someone, it was like, is this about you? I was like, no, it's not me.
Honestly not.
I'd have Aruche, who was in I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
Who's absolutely brilliant. And there's a brilliant girl called Adelayo as well, who is really, 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 like, she's amazing. She's in an ITV detective show. I can't remember what it's called now. So I think like there would be like my dream cast. I think they're sick. And I like, so there's space in it for really, really like good looking, like as in like what's meant to be good looking. And every time I was like, who would play that? Who is a British person that I can think? A British actor that is just like everyone universally finds them attractive.
What, the male actor?
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, but he's a bit daddy, isn't he? Like old. I don't know.
Is he daddy or zaddy?
Okay, all right.
Daddy or zaddy? That is a big debate.
He's fit daddy, but I'm like,
it's a bit, He's a...
Usually like, I'm not going to expose myself with Kano, obviously. Everyone fancies Kano.
Yeah, they do, don't they? It's just the eyes. He just has lovely eyes.
Just the eyes.
Yeah. He has lovely eyes.
He's looking into his soul. Yeah. I mean, I've never met him, but...
Yeah.
Here we go. Hot flush coming on.
Are you okay?
I'm like, fine,
yeah, that is a good point, actually. And also, we should actually start thinking of Kano as an actor because he was brilliant.
Unreal. And I think also, like, I don't know a girl who doesn't fancy him.
Yeah, and it's been like for years as well. Yeah, genuinely, because he's been around like my whole life and he's from East London.
Give him a call.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I think he'll say yeah, why not?
You would say yeah.
Yeah, he'll say yeah, we'll do it. So yeah, I think that'll be good.
So we've been asking our guests to bring in something to the studio that means a lot to them. And like, home isn't all about the physical objects, right? No. But it is important of what we put in there and what we fill it with. So what have you brought for us?
I've bought this little embroidery that says, I can't come and die.
I love that.
The information feels quite violent, right? But look how pretty it is contrasted with all of this colour and detail. But basically, this is like just anytime I feel really stressed out and like overwhelmed, it's like I can't come and die. Like this thing can't be the end of it. This thing is not actually that big a deal. Relax or whatever. And it's just become a thing that I kind of like say all the time and just like maneuver life with. But I just thought it was really pretty, and I just kind of have it as a daily reminder to like relax.
If anyone comes around to your house, is there a code? Is there a rule? Like, is there no shoes inside? Is there like, don't make yourself a cup of tea? Or is there actually go and help yourself?
Do you know what? My code is like, if you're in my house, right, you mean something to me. And it's just like, act like it's yours. I was really big on when I was setting the house up for it to be, because I feel like sometimes you go to some homes and you don't want to touch anything. You don't want to get anything dirty. And you want it to be, but I'm really big on like, I want it to feel homely.
Yeah.
Rather than like something that looks like clinical. You can't sit in. Yeah, exactly. So my big thing is, no, go sort yourself out.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. Great. So that is like a massive wall for me. I want people to feel at home in my home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So kind of like, I won't make you a tea because go do it yourself. You
know where the biscuits are?
Be comfortable, right? Like, just like
plonk
do what
yourself on the sofa, pick your feet up. That's it.
Another rule is that like no number twos in the upstairs toilet. Downstairs, no, in the downstairs toilet. I actually think you should go upstairs.
You should go.
You should go upstairs to poo.
Why?
I don't know, like
because like the downstairs toilet should always smell nice, because it gets more visitors.
Okay. Yeah. Have you got incense in there?
Yeah, I got some candles and things like that. I used to do a really weird thing when I first moved into the house. I went to get my mortgage worth. I went to get my money's worth, right? So I used to spend time in every room just to get my money's worth. So sometimes I'd like wake up in the middle of the night, need to go to the toilet, and I'm like, I'm going to go downstairs. I was like, I am going to get my money's worth in this house.
I love this.
Yeah, or I just go into the room and just stand there for a little while.
Yeah. I need to spend more time in the cupboard under the stairs then, don't I, really?
You have to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Or just I can't just sit in the garden. If I'm going to pay for a garden, I'm going to make it worthwhile. So I'm
going to like that with my balcony and make the most of it.
It's been so incredible to hear all about your home and all of the things in it.
Thank you.
But before you go, I do want to know, what is it that home really means to you?
Oh, okay. So this is actually like a proper question for me, right? Because home is really important to me. And I was recently going to get a little tattoo of an outline of a house on me. And I remember saying it to my sister. She was like, what? Because you bought a house? I was fuming.
I'm going to get my mortgage worth.
That's not what it I'm getting my mortgage worth. Because that's not what it meant. But the whole point of that tattoo was to say that home is wherever I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, I don't necessarily need a physical place to feel at home, right? I've kind of like done this thing where my body is my home. And that's why every time people kind of talk about body confidence issues and body image issues, I always talk about like how you would treat your actual physical home, right? I won't go in and be like, this is disgusting, throw things around it and things like that. And that's how I see my own body.
Yeah.
So my body for me is my home. So it's kind of like wherever I am in the world, as long as I feel within myself, I feel like I'm at home. And I have a big thing of other people feeling at home around me. Like if I can keep you company in when I'm around you and you feel like home, then yeah. And again, when I talk about people, like, what does love mean to you? I'm like, how love feels like home, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go on holiday, when you come back, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want that feeling to be within me and to have people have it around me as well.
Home is where the heart is. Get it embroidered. Put it up.
Slightly less violent.
It's either that or like love, live life. I'm like,
are you one of them?
I wish I was.
No.
I feel like they have such a like lovely life. I would love to be one of them.
I feel like you are that person.
I'm not too far from it because it's such a nice life to be a love, live, laugh.
Yeah, put it on the downstairs loo.
Do you know what to get you for your next housewarming present?
Yeah.
Before we let you go, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tolly_T, and I do a podcast, the Receipts podcast, which comes out on Spotify every Wednesday, and I do another podcast called 1010 Would Recommend for Netflix, which comes out every Friday everywhere.
It's a lot of content.
It's a lot of content. I talk an awful lot.
You're very good at it too.
Thank you so much, Tolly.
Thanks, Tolly.
Thanks for having me. That was so fun.
That was wicked.
Yay.